is my honor to welcome you to the 53rd Leeward Islands Debating Competition 2025 opening ceremony. This prestigious event brings together the brightest young minds from across the region, engaging in intellectual discourse, critical analysis, and the art of debate. We are delighted to host this competition and extend to each one of you a warm St. Martin welcome, to all of the visiting teams, staff sponsors, supporters, and a wider community.
Already established, I would still like to welcome each and every one of you to our beautiful shows of St. Martin. We are happy to have all the islands here with us, and this is the 53rd year. We are happy to host this event, and let me say this is an event or institution that we should keep forever. It gives our children in the Caribbean a great opportunity to engage and become great leaders for the future. I still though would like to acknowledge those dignitaries that is here with us. Miss Melissa Gomes, the Minister of Education, Youth and Sports from St. Martin. And also our dignitaries that we have here from Anguilla. All of you and all of the societies that is here with us from the different islands that was mentioned, I think, before, welcome to St. Martin. God bless this event, and I know it's going to be a great event and great critical.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. On behalf of Anguilla, I'd like to extend greetings to all. And it is an honor to be participating in the 53rd Leeward Islands Debating Competition. As you know, St. Martin is our sister island, so we're always happy to be here. And I'd just like to wish everyone a safe and exciting competition.
I am Khadija Bufong, the president of the Antigua State College Debating Society. And it is truly an honor to stand before you today as we gather for the prestigious Leeward Islands Debating Competition. On behalf of all the teams, I extend our deepest gratitude to the beautiful island of St. Martin for hosting us with such warmth and hospitality. Your efforts in organizing this event are truly commendable. To my fellow debaters, judges, and esteemed guests, welcome. This competition is not about just proving our arguments, but about exchanging ideas, challenging perspectives, and growing together as critical thinkers. May this tournament be a testament to the power of words, respect, and fellowship. Let's engage, inspire, and enjoy the spirit of debate. Best of luck to all the teams. I thank you.
I just want to say thank you for St. Martin for holding us this year. St. Martin is a really beautiful island. I'm really enjoying my stay. This is my first year debating. I really think that this debating competition is going to be a great competition, an interesting competition. And I just want to wish best of luck to all the teams. I hope that we debate well and God's grace be with all of us. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings from the beautiful island of St. Kitts. On behalf of the Clarence Fitzgerald Bryan College Literary and Debating Society, I would like to thank the host country of St. Martin for accommodating us at this prestigious event. We also welcome the contingents from the sister islands of Nevis, Anguilla, and Antigua. Thank you, and may the best team win.
Protocol having been established, good evening, everyone. It is my great honor to welcome you all to the 53rd Leeward Island Debating Competition, right here on our beautiful island, St. Martin. My name is Isaiah Peterson, and I have the privilege of serving as the assistant coach for Team St. Martin. This competition is a cornerstone of intellectual exchange within our region. It sharpens skills, challenges ideas, and fosters long-lasting connections between our youths. As your hosts, we are delighted to provide a platform for rigorous debate and meaningful dialogue. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors and supporters, whose contributions have made this event possible. Your investment in the youth and in the spirit of debate is truly invaluable. To all competing teams, we wish you an exciting and rewarding competition. Debate with passion, with respect, and with the knowledge that your voices have the power to inspire change. Welcome to St. Martin, and let's make this 53rd edition a memorable one.
Good evening, esteemed judges, visiting dignitaries, participants, and distinguished guests. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to the 53rd Annual Leeward Island Debating Competition 2025 here on beautiful St. Martin. I'd like to express my gratitude for your presence today and your continued support of this incredible event. A special welcome, of course, goes out to our sister islands, Anguilla, Antigua, St. Kitts, and Nevis. We're gathered here today not only to witness some of the brightest young minds from across the region engaged in thought-provoking debates, but also to celebrate the power of dialogue, of critical thinking, and intellectual exchange. The ability to present an argument, listen to opposing views, and engage respectfully with others is something that strengthens our communities, fosters understanding, and promotes positive change. This year's debates promise to be a dynamic and exciting experience where you will tackle a variety of timely and important topics that affect both our region and the wider world. In a world where technology, social media, and unprecedented access to information are defining the lives of the younger generation, it's important to understand how the way they are raised shapes their values, behavior, and overall well-being. In a world that's increasingly driven by technology, artificial intelligence has become one of the most debated topics, and I agree could be a peril or progress. As conversations around gender equality continue to grow, this topic also brings the issue of parental leave to the forefront, and I look forward to seeing that brought forward tonight. Finally, in an increasingly competitive and globalized world, the development of soft skills such as communication, teamwork, and emotional intelligence remains ever critical. From the impact of technology on our societies to the future of education and everything in between, you participants will demonstrate the depth of your research, your passion for the topics at hand, and your exceptional skills in public speaking and persuasion. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all debaters for their hard work and dedication. You've each put tremendous effort to prepare for today. As someone who's participated in debate, both in high school and on the floor of Parliament, I know the work you've put in for today, and I'm excited to hear your well-crafted arguments and insightful perspectives. I also want to thank the judges who play an invaluable role in this competition. Your expertise and fair judgment will help guide this event and ensure that the spirit of friendly competition and intellectual growth thrives. I want to thank the organizers for not asking me to be a judge, because I don't envy your task ahead. Finally, I encourage everyone here today to not only support the participants today, but to continue to engage in the larger conversation around these topics. Whether you are a debater, a spectator, or a judge, let us remember that these debates are more than just competition. They're an opportunity to explore diverse viewpoints, challenge assumptions, and grow together as a community of learners. Once again, thank you all for being here, and I look forward to the engaging and inspiring competition ahead. Let the debates begin.
you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah, your social health insurances.
Officials in Moscow say hundreds of Ukrainian drones have targeted the city in what appears to be the largest attack on the Russian capital so far in the war. 3 people are reported to have been killed and at least 20 injured. Russia's defense ministry said it shot down 337 drones aimed at Moscow and 9 other regions. Apartment buildings were among the buildings hit, along with a railway line. 4 airports were forced to close. Ukraine has yet to comment. It came ahead of talks being held today in Saudi Arabia, where US and Ukrainian officials are discussing the route to a possible ceasefire. Our correspondent in Kiev, James Waterhouse, says Ukraine has made no comment on the attack carried out in Russia last night.
Well, you'll never hear anything official when these attacks are carried out by Ukraine. It seems to be an unprecedented scale of attack, where drones typically manufactured inside Ukraine were used on up to 9 provinces, according to Russian officials. More than 300 were intercepted, we are told, including more than 70 in the capital, Moscow. And for Ukraine, the goal of these attacks is to bring this war, Russia's invasion, to the doorsteps of those Russians who may choose to turn a blind eye or who may not be aware of exactly what is going on. And the timing is also pertinent because it, as you say, an aerial ceasefire, a pausing on drone attacks, is something Ukraine is proposing in these peace talks in Saudi Arabia.
James Waterhouse reporting there. Well, our State Department correspondent Tom Bateman is travelling with a US delegation in Jeddah. I asked him for a sense of the atmosphere there ahead of those crucial talks.
Well, it's certainly pretty positive, actually, the mood among the Americans here in Jeddah. In the last few moments, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, walked past me just here on his way into the meeting with the Ukrainians. I asked him for his expectations for it. He gave a thumbs up and said it'll be good. Now, on the way in to Jeddah, he spoke to us on the plane, saying that what they're trying to do here is establish the Ukrainians' intentions, and basically they were unhappy that they felt the Ukrainians weren't committed to President Trump's plans for a quick truce with the Russians. And I think this is basically about trying to see if, as far as the Americans are concerned, the Ukrainians are serious about this. Now, also on the way in, I spoke to Andrei Yermak, a top advisor to President Zelensky, who was in that meeting, and asked him also what his expectations were. He talked about the meeting in a very constructive sense. He said they were open to their American partners. They wanted to see what the proposals could be for getting to a ceasefire. That's exactly the kind of language I think that President Trump wants to hear. But I put that crucial question to him also about what had always been the big sticking point, was that President Zelensky's fear was that all of this was being kind of stitched together too quickly, a rapprochement with the Russians, but without any mechanism to police a ceasefire, without a security guarantee from the Americans that would deter President Putin from just sort of coming back in and reinvading in a year or two's time into this any sort of truce process. And now I asked again Mr. Yermak about that this morning, and he said that, yes, of course they want a security guarantee, but he suggested this wouldn't be what they were pushing hard today, but more about, getting to the start of a process and assuring the Americans basically that they are on board with what Mr. Trump wants.
So, Tom, what are the likely outcomes from today's talks?
Well, I think, the Americans seem pretty upbeat. I think they feel that this is a sort of opportunity. They wouldn't put it in these terms, but this is basically what's happening here. for a reprieve for Mr. Zelensky after he was ejected from the White House, told that he was ungrateful and disrespectful by Mr. Trump and the Vice President J.D. Vance. Of course, the Americans then cut off or suspended military assistance and intelligence sharing with the Ukrainians. Now, Mr. Rubio, again, I asked him about that, about the security, about the military assistance. You know, would that be put back online basically as a result of today's meeting? He very much suggested that if things went well, if there was a positive outcome, that they hope to have an announcement to make. So I think we should watch out for the restoration of that support by the Americans to Ukraine.
Tom Bateman in Jeddah there. Well, for more on the attack on Moscow overnight, let's speak to our reporter Lisa Vogt from the BBC Russian service. She joins me now from Berlin. So the latest we're hearing is that a third person has been killed following this attack. What are the latest developments?
Yes, so the attack that we saw this night was the largest drone attack at Russia that Ukraine has launched since Russia started its invasion 3 years ago, and a total of 337 drones, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, were downed over Russia this night. And as you said, at least 3 persons have been killed in the attack. And there are many more injured, at least 18 injured in Moscow region, including little kids. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said that Tuesday was the biggest Ukrainian drone attack on the Russian capital. So some people are now staying at hospitals. Regional authorities showed pictures of damaged buildings, burned cars, damaged property. Some civilians had to be evacuated from their homes because of the fires that those drones started. And we know that biggest Moscow airports had to suspend all their flights during the night, but by now they have resumed their operations.
And just tell us about some of the reaction coming in from Russian officials.
Well, Vladimir Putin's spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, said that what we saw this night can definitely hurt potential attempts to start direct negotiations between Russia and Ukraine to end the war in Ukraine. And of course, it's especially important given the meeting that you just discussed that's happening in Saudi Arabia right now. Right now, head of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe is actually in Moscow. And we know that officials from the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs showed him the aftermath of this drone attack. So far, I would say that the reaction is mostly focused on, recovery efforts, on helping the injured, on counting the losses. But generally, what we saw this night was met with a very harsh rhetoric from the Russian officials. And we, of course, know, I think it's important to mention that Ukraine also, even though top Ukrainian officials, they has not publicly commented on what happened. They also reported drone attacks on Kyiv right now. So we can definitely see that despite all those diplomatic efforts that we see, the fighting is still going on, and this war is still happening both in Russia and Ukraine.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah.
It's time for a new brand that is as bold, vibrant, and colorful as the island of St. Martin, with colors drawn from our diversity, cultural heritage, and nature. Our breathtaking beaches, waters, and sun, the majestic brown pelican, our national symbol, the radiant yellow sage, our national flower, the historic border monument signifying the Dutch and French sides, our exciting cruise, yachting, and boating ports, renowned Maho Beach and St. Martin Airport, the hub to the Caribbean. All these parts come together to create the shape of the island of St. Martin. More than a logo. It's a new brand that engages, excites, and will inspire travelers to book. It's time to tell the St. Martin story, to reintroduce travelers to St. Martin, to honor our past, to embrace our present, and shape our future. Our culture and diversity, Dutch and French sides, unrivaled cuisine, twice the nightlife, entertainment, and shopping, cruises, boating, and yachting, twice the adventure, exploration, and relaxation, splendid and scenic accommodations, Pinel, Tentamar, and island hopping in the Caribbean. Whatever your taste, St. Martin has more. Experience twice the Caribbean. St. Martin.
At home. Hi, I am Debbie. New school dance hall all the rage, but not making waves beyond the Caribbean. What's stopping it? And what's at stake for One Drop as reggae falters where it first began?
Trap dancehall dominant at home and in the Caribbean. The soundtrack of a generation drawn to the messaging and lifestyle of the rap world, and a generational departure from the beats and bounce that made stars of Buju Banton, Bounty Killer and Beanie Man, not to mention Shabba Ranks, Shaggy and Sean Paul, DJs whose music also had mainstream appeal and sold platinum records. But if dancehall spoke to markets beyond the Jamaican diaspora, trap from Jamaica still playing catch-up. The slack taken up by easy listening, infectious music out of Africa, while at home the beat goes on. On the lyrics talking about scamming and chopping, and making a virtue, possibly ironic, of being fully dunce. Give me a frank assessment of your understanding of fully dunce.
Fully done, I think that they're saying that you don't have to care, just do what you do. And I think that that's a bad assessment. You need to have a sense of responsibility on what your music represents in society. I understand that certain music represents a reflection of our society. Ghetto and suffering and violence, we can never get rid of that. We can only contain it. But I think that as somebody that is rising above that, hence you see where Cartel had to be incarcerated for 13 years, what he went through. And if you listen to him speak now, you can see that it is a man that is rehabilitated.
For his Gaza fans, Cartel's rehabilitation tantamount to the arrival of a comet, and just what the dancehall doctor ordered.
Everybody has a sort of blueprint for Jamaican music to re-engage with the foreign market, for the international space to recognize what we used to bring to the scene but don't seem to be bringing to the scene anymore. What's your blueprint?
Okay, we do bring it to the scene, and I'll give you Fever sold gold in 2016, sold silver in England, and I was in prison at the time, so I sold 200,000 copies in the United Kingdom, sold 500,000 copies in the United States, so did Charlie Black, so did Popcorn. So dancehall is still there, so to speak, but I think what's beating dancehall music is sheer numbers. 3 million people in Jamaica, maybe 2 million in the diaspora, versus Nigeria. 200 million. So I just think what we're losing out on is just the sheer numbers, but the influence is there, and I think the music is doing amazing stuff, and I believe in the kids now, the new generation of artists, what they want to call it trap dancehall. I believe in them, and I know they're going to do amazing things.
For the moment though, no one's cracking Billboard, except Skilly Bang with Crocodile Teeth. The remix with Nicki Minaj spending 1 week on the top 100 in 2021.
JR, when did the trap sound emerge in Jamaica?
Trap had its moment 2018 with Ragging King, Tough. That song took over the Caribbean. It was the moment people started to pay attention to the genre as something emerging out of the original dancehall.
In 2025, why hasn't trap dancehall spread beyond Jamaica and the Caribbean?
The genre is yet to see its superstar. Reggae had its superstar, Bob Marley, took reggae to the world. Shaggy and Sean Paul took dancehall to the world. Shabba too. Rocksteady, Alton Ellis, Desmond Decker, they took that to the world. Trap is yet to have their superstar that will put the genre to the world. Trap dancehall also emerged during the era of streaming. Artists can now press one button and their music is all over the Caribbean, all over the world. And because of that, we're seeing artists becoming big streamers without big hits. So the hits happen in the Caribbean, but when you go to France, when you go to the UK, the US, no one knows the song because people are consuming the music that they are interested in, region by region.
And it doesn't seem in those markets to be trap dancehall out of Jamaica.
Needs the star who's gonna sell the genre like Shabba sold dancehall, like Sean Paul sold dancehall, like Bob, Peter Tosh, Bunny sold reggae.
I would like to show some of the producers, young producers produce trap. I can just do a remix, a reggae remix of them and use the same voice. Use elements of the same rhythm. If I get the files and just make it reggae and show them so them can make this or it can be done. I think it would last longer, but they're not aware that it can be done.
Respected reggae arranger Clive Hunt not writing off any genre, but wonders at the seeming lack of interest in anything outside a narrow scope of listening.
You said the right thing, the lack of curiosity. Because they make quick money, easy money, is like scamming. When they call it chop, they just make a quick money source so nobody don't want to know no more. So now I'm good. The same thing applies to the music. When they do these things, they just get an artist and then bust quick and just say some things will attract attention. When they must sing about guns, drugs, women, roses. What they might make now is just a little thing like so. The train line, I make too many curves. Now with all me and what we do, we have to find curves and we shape the curve too. because I want to make it run for a long while longer.
Gramps Morgan of Morgan Heritage also talks about lending a helping hand and widening musical horizons.
There's a sense that we can present our music without it being disrespectful or aggressive. The mentorship is not just sitting down and me trying to tell you what to do. Still be yourself, but let me show you how it can be playful, fun, and jiggy. And this is where Afrobeats is winning over dancehall right now, because the messages aren't offensive. They're not to chop off this, they're not influencing crime. It's just fun, party, look what kind of car I'm driving and flossing, and just keep it fun.
And after Reggae Month, they're also reminders that Jamaica's best-known cultural export has seen better days back home, whilst also losing momentum on the international stage, as overseas purveyors of the genre gain more traction.
The other day, Chronix was doing a thing, and it was so fantastic. And then a crop of musicians come up, and then him just disappear, and then, wagwan. The young people are not focused on our culture. Them still eat ackee and saltfish and dumpling and green banana, you know. But I don't know what's happening with them on the reggae music. I think they don't know, and they should be told more often. You need some man who write some songs about some social thing or go on, and not the social thing where them are post on social media and things culturally us. It touch people globally because they can relate to it.
To be frank, I think infrastructure in our music industry is a big part of that. There's not enough managers, there's not enough engineers. Even when it comes to stage shows, I don't think we can put on 10 solid professional concerts like an Intimate or a Vibes Cartel. You see the type of production that Vibes Cartel had at the stadium with Down Sound and Joseph and Scatter. Can we do 10 shows like that? Every Jamaican that is interested in the music business, they feel like them have to be an artist. We need cameramen, we need journalists. How many of those kids are we mentoring? Jamaica, I'm telling you guys, young kids, there's many different parts of the music business that you can learn than being an artist, because not everybody can sing and DJ, but there are many other parts that you can enjoy music, being on the platform, and also make an impact on our genre.
What is under me nose?